So, welcome to the World Curling Federation Olympic qualification event, coming to you live from the BLZ Arena in Füssen in Germany. And you can see we have some snow in this winter resort in the Bavarian Alps. This is the BLZ Arena, and as it says, heute curling today. Standings at the moment are Japan on 4-0 and Czech Republic on 2-2, and this will be our feature game in the 6th draw this afternoon. So, both the teams getting ready for this game. They have both played 4 games because there are 7 teams in this round robin in the women's division. Some have had the bye game and some have still to have their bye. So, Klara Svatanova at lead for the Czech Republic. Veronika Herdova, second player. Teresa Pliskova at third. And the skip is Anna Kubeshkova. The alternate is Martina Strandova, and Karol Kubeska is the coach. For Japan, Michiko Tomabechi, Kaho Onodera second, Yumi Funiyama at third, and skip Ayumi Ogasawara. Tsunami Yoshida is the 5th. And the standings at the present time: China on 4-0, Japan on 4-0, Czech Republic, Germany 2-2, Norway 2-3, Latvia 1-4, and Italy out of it this time round on 0-4. So the matches on the other sheets this afternoon: we're on sheet C, Italy and China on sheet B, and on the other side, Norway and Germany on sheet D. I am Richard Harding, and with me this afternoon is Uli Kapp. This is home for you, Uli. You'll be very familiar with this place.
Yeah, kind of. It's somehow weird for me, like getting in here last night and had nothing to do with the event so far. Usually I spend a lot of hours and days for preparing everything to get the curling ready or play myself. So quite new situation, but I'm glad to be here.
And it's very nice to have you. Of course, you played in many World Championships and European Championships yourself, and I think including the one that was here back in 2007, the Europeans.
Yeah. I was like kind of close to get to the playoffs, ended up 5th place, but all in all was quite a good event we had those days.
And are there any special things about this arena that you can tell us about?
Yeah, well, actually, it's like a very traditional place. I mean, Füssen is a really ice hockey history they have, like starting back in the 20s and the 30s. So really, we had open air, even like open air ice hockey. There were like 30,000 people on the main days, like watching the hockey games. Really spectacular. And then they ended up building a roof, and so there were maybe place for 8,000 to 10,000 people. Also, the site was open, and I was just growing up. It's like 500 meters away from here. So as a small kid, I remember I couldn't sleep because I hear the crowd when they are shouting and celebrating the home club. So the funny thing for us is now it still is like the National Hockey Center in here. So this new arena was built in the beginning of 90s, and it switched a little bit the momentum. Right now we have the small 3-ring curling ice. It's the first season ever where it's just dedicated only for curling, and the 2 hockey rinks around. So yeah, well, in former days we were somehow followed by suspicious somehow what they're doing. They're throwing stones there. So curling history, they started in the early 70s. And right now we have also the German Federation City or Association sitting here, hosted here, and
yes,
well, kind of curling tradition here as well.
Excellent. So this game has rumbled into action. We're at the second players, and really just swapping hits so far, keeping it clean, nobody risking anything in the first end, as happens quite a lot.
It's just like to get into it. It's mainly depending on who starts, who has the hammer and who not, and here it's like pretty clear that they're starting a defensive one, like Czech Republic won the last stone draw, keeps the hammer, and Japan started drawing into the house, and therefore the Czech started to play takeout. Just want to get into the game and maybe be a little bit more offensive in the second. Like following the morning draw of this Japanese team, you could really see that they're quite confident. They're very solid in their game, pretty much in control against Germany. Won this one 10-4, and it was just right there when they had the momentum, when they had the chance to make a make the chance.
Well,
so it was quite clear in the end.
I think they had their best game so far this morning, no question about that. Because against the teams on the lower standings, they have played all of them and got their first 3 wins. But in each of these games, the scoreline was quite tight, and it was only against Germany that they put their foot on the gas.
Or you can say like the Japanese team, that's like, especially on the position on the back end, like on vice position, and also like the skip himself, like she well experienced twice at the Olympic Games in 2002 and 2006. So they know the game. When we have Yumi Funiyama, so she's like quite an experience. You could see the way they decide, they call for shots. They know what they're doing, and the technique always has been good on these Japanese teams.
Yes. It's taken some years though for them to have perhaps a feel for all the elements of the game. But now I think Japan and China, they do have that. You can see they're a little less mechanical. I mean, still they play, the deliveries are excellent, but they also have more tactical awareness, definitely, in the last 5 years maybe.
And you only get this by when you compete in a lot of competitions, like traveling to Canada, traveling to other, even to,
That's right. So just to recap, 6 ends are the minimum they have to play. They have 73 minutes, and the coach can come and offer them some advice on one occasion during that time. So yeah, you're right. When they go to Canada, obviously they're really up against the tough teams.
Only even Canada again, like going like to the curling championship in Europe. Also, you have good competition there, especially like the Japanese team. They're coming here and they got this experience, and even then in their own zone, like in the Pacific zone, they have their Pacific championships there, so they're battling each other. And with this competition you have all through the year, you got this experience, you know the situations you're in, and you know how to win a close game, and that's the experience you need.
So down to skips scones here in the first end, and it's been a swapping of the hits all the way through. And this will be the same for Ogasawara. So very experienced over a long period through till 2006, and then a little bit of a break, and now suddenly back again and striving to get to the Winter Olympics in Sochi. That's of course what this event is all about. The last 2 spots for the men and women will be decided here in the next couple of days.
That's really one of the the chances you want to take. Of course, you still have the chance, and I think it's a really good thing that happens. It's just like before you were just collecting points, and now you have a second chance for going for the Olympic spots. I think it's really great opportunity and a good chance. Also, it's tough. I mean, really go through this event, and all teams here have quite good chances. But you can see that as the field is so far, like it's clear advantage for Japan and China on the women's side.
But the playoff spots allow for 3 teams to be involved.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, after this round robin, the first place team plays the second, and the winner will qualify, and the loser will then play against the third place team in the round robin for the other spot. So even at that stage, it gives you a little chance in third place. Looks at the moment as though China and Japan will occupy the first 2 places, so they'll get 2 chances to qualify, probably. And it's not quite so clear who will be in third place.
Well, it's a good chance for Czech Republic and also Germany. They're both sitting with 2 and 2, and also a theoretically chance of Norway. I mean, they are sitting 2 and 3, so already 3 losses. Theoretically, I mean, like, I think when it's come down, we not really were thinking it through, but like when you have maybe 3 wins, 3 losses, you might have a chance for going a tiebreaker, but this is more than just theory. So it's depending. Like, ending up this round robin with 4 wins, 2 losses, you have a good chance to really be one of the 3 teams.
Yeah.
So, and Czech Republic having Japan now, and tomorrow morning 8 o'clock against Latvia. So, but this is probably the bigger challenge right now, winning against this team, as Team Japan is really playing well. And
well, they're certainly getting better as the week goes on. And there's a big interest in curling in Japan. They have a lot of television coverage going from here back to Japan. Our friends in NHK are covering a lot of games, sending them back. So, at the end of the first end, no score, and the last stone advantage will remain with Anna Kubashkova and her Czech team going into end number 2.
Well, and Ayumi Ogasawara, she's calling again for front house draw, like placing this one front forefoot. That means they don't want to go any risk, they just want to be in control and ask maybe Team Czech Republic to maybe go for the corner guard, but as you can see, young Czech skip Anna Kubashkova asking again for a takeout, so we stay in the defensive line. But I mean, it's good, it's a really young team, they just don't want to give up the game pretty early, they just want to get the feeling, keep control. The only thing when you play a game like this, you get less chances somehow to react.
Well, that's true. I think it's pretty defensive, but it's not particularly in Japan's interest to do anything other than this.
For the moment, they don't need just going, but right now losing this shooter means that it's a chance now for the Czech team to play a corner guard. They could have done before, or they had the possibility to do it before, but they just wanted to keep it controlled, and now they're going for the corner guard. And then it's interesting what Japan is maybe doing. If they stay defensive as well, they might clear this off.
Well, not sweeping it. It's gliding on.
Yeah.
Could land up in the house. Well, little mistake there from the Czechs. Brings the game back into the house. Yep, not quite what was asked for. So the ice is fast.
It's just a difference between the practice before. And I think Czech had the first practice. And therefore they are not really familiar. It was probably a little bit slower in the first practice, always like this. And then now the first draw they played, they were only playing takeouts in the first end. And so need to get used to it again. So you can see the sweepers were a little bit too much on it.
Well, this one's curling quite a bit.
Yeah, she started it from the beginning a little bit, playing it. Yeah, and total miss.
Yeah.
You could see the way she released the stone was not proper. Yeah.
Another look at this, and Uli can...
Just the way she was releasing it a little bit to the inside.
Yes, we know all about that.
Yeah, and then it's no chance for the sweepers to hold it in line or to keep it in line.
It's a common mistake, I'm afraid to say. So now, can Japan put a guard on top of this stone? Taking plenty of ice. Just needs to draw. But it will at the end here. Good looking line they've got. Choosing to bring the stone quite close to the house.
Really good shot, like the way they were really bring it close there. And also guarding the shot rock. Not totally, but the way it was, like, make sure that it's close to the rink. And
so this time playing the out turn, the anti-clockwise handle. Oh well.
So, really good shot of her. Just
makes up for the first one.
Yeah. The good thing is that the shooter is rolling to the side as well, so not only getting rid of the two yellows, but also the shooter rolls to the right, staying there as a corner guard. Japan is just trying with this roll to get it to a different spot. Just at the first end, it's also that you don't know the spots really how to play, maybe force a miss there. Also, it's an easy situation, just an open hit.
So, Teresa Pliskova hitting on the nose down that different line. So they have played hits across this sheet coming in this direction towards where we are sitting. Furiously sweeping to try and hold this stone. It's just going to creep out the back of the house though, and out of play. And Kubashkova indicating to draw right out to the wing. In turn, draw for Teresa Pliskova with her second stone here. And after this, just skip stones remaining, you can see from the graphic at the top of the screen.
A little bit too much sweeping. They still think it's probably a little bit slower, but it's not. But it's okay. I mean, in this situation, really doesn't matter.
So this is the first end between Norway and Germany, and a chance here with a draw shot for 2 for Norway to go ahead in this game. Looks pretty good. Already lie one on the back left corner, and this will give them a 2-0 advantage after the first end. So back in our game.
Anna Kubeshkova with her first one. She has now a chance as the yellow one is sitting close to the house, but not touching the house, so it's not counting, but still gives her the opportunity that maybe forcing a miss. So she tries to play his stone like her stone on the just in front of the yellow one.
So can you get a time on this, Uli?
Yeah, it's about maybe 14.5 seconds, something like that. We're witnessing this morning for a draw, but this looks a little bit heavy. They really need to make sure that this one stays in the house. This looks pretty heavy. So we have a 13.3. This is too heavy. But at least she has a backing there.
Well, it's fast. It really slid on there, didn't it?
Yeah.
Fast and swingy. That's what we want. That's what we've got, I think. So very conservative play to this point. Nobody risking anything.
Yeah, no, we hope this will change soon. But I think so. It's just like... On the other hand, I don't mind like if you be a little bit patient. It doesn't need to be like very, very offensive from right from the start. Well, this was close to jam, but in the end they could hold it on line to make sure that every stone is going out of the house. So that leaves the house open and another blank end. So we'll stay with the score. We don't have to be prophets.
So I wonder if they would blank the end if you lost the hammer.
So that's some sport politics we're coming in. That's one of the things. I mean, sport has to develop somehow. And I'm a friend of really at least talking ideas over. And why not changing the hammer situation at every end?
Well, it would change the strategy a little bit.
Yeah.
So, last stone remains with Czech Republic after 2 ends. No score.
So hope that maybe we see a little bit more offensive end right now. But of course, there's no need for Team Japan to change anything. Michiko Tomabechi just needs to play another draw front of the house, or front house, I mean. This one is a little bit too long, so small mistake by her. I hope that Anna Kubeshkova now changes her tactics. Here we go. You expect more? Now it's the call for a corner guard.
Well, both teams struggling a little bit to get the draw weight here and playing, if anything, always a little heavier than they've been trying to play because it's so fast. They're just taking time to adjust. So that's probably also leading a little bit to the defensive play.
When you just play takeouts mainly, you won't get the draw weight. So this looks also a little bit heavy, but it stays in front. Now Ayumi Ogasawara again asking for a draw, front four. She has the chance to make it better this time.
So Michiko Tomabechi, her second stone here in the third end. Right next door, we've got Bingyu Wang drawing for two for China. She lies one, and this is for her second shot. Furious sweeping to try and get it there. Oh no, long way short. So it will be just one shot in the first end for China.
Meanwhile, the attempt of Czech Republic to play a hit and stay, but they overcurled and lost the shooter. So another chance for Japan to place another stone into the house. They could have also go for the takeout, for the corner guard, and maybe roll into the house would be also a nice option. But on the other hand, why risk anything? Just keep it simple, play into the house. You don't agree?
Well, I always like to see a few stones in play, so but it's different sitting watching than it is playing. So in it comes. And out it will go, I'm sure. Although there's a big chance here just to draw to that. It's early enough in the end.
No. You don't want to go for draw. Just want to play another hit.
I'm thinking back to the games I watched, which involved Uli Kapp and his brother Andy.
Once upon a time.
Now I understand the mentality.
No, it's not.
So a hit it will be, and a jam onto the back. Well,
actually, it's not the worst that could happen. At least they have this yellow one also as a backing, kind of. So, from this perspective, Japan needs to roll a little bit to the right side to get rid of the red one.
So, second player for Japan, Kaho Onodera. This looks pretty nice if it sticks. Oh. A little bit unfortunate just rolling out there. It would have been nice because it would also have been behind the red corner guard belonging to the Czech Republic, and that is father of the skip, Karel Kubeska. Karel was much involved in the creation of the curling club in Prague. Beautiful 4-sheet rink where most of the Czech teams in recent years have been able to use to hone their skills.
Yeah, they're really nice facility to play in. Also pretty much centered in town, so it's quite nice. So I'm not totally agree on the call she was making. She was pointing back to the house, so where it ended up, it's okay. He should have made sure that this one stays in front of the tee line, but as it was a little bit too short, it's just open. It stays open. Here you see the Japanese coach Fuji Miki. Japanese team just to make sure that they're not jam this red one on this yellow one, so we're lucky. Yeah. Works out fine.
This one will stick. So this one will stick, and Japan now lying 2 in the house, both behind the tee line, center line. So third player, Teresa Pliskova, hitting and hoping for the little roll across towards the other one. Well, just staying on the edge of the white 8-foot circle. Playing big weight at this. Important to stick around here.
Yeah, definitely. So the aim of Team Japan is, of course, to keep these 2 shooters and force the Czech team to make 1, to take 1 at least, when you draw to the center later on. Then Team Japan has the chance to attack the next end, to play offensive and maybe have the chance for making 2 or more.
Well, mistake there from Pliskova, running out the house.
And that's one of the things when you play this really defensive style, when you have less chances, you really need to make those kinds. You need to keep your shooters to have somehow a chance, but if you roll out, you make it even more simple for the opponent to react. So first one of Ayumi Ogasawara. For the moment, she's drawing to the open side, to the left side from this perspective, depending what's going on with the last one. Or with the next one of Czech Republic, we will see. Just make sure this one reaches the house.
Well, nicely played. And they're just looking at the hit and roll to go in front of the second Japanese stone and make it more difficult for the Japanese team, and in particular for Ogasawara to remove it with her last stone here in the third end. 3 stones remaining then, 2 for Kuberskova and 1 for Japan. But Japan lie 2 shots at the moment. So the hit and roll.
Now they really need to sweep it for line. It looks to start or to curl very much. and they really need to make sure that this one stays in the ring, and it just passes the yellow in the back. So this is not good. And now and they were sweeping the whole time maybe, but not enough. Well, now it's the question, like, if you play the front house, or you could also play a come around. That was the idea was starting to tell before, that maybe she could change now, maybe try to come around, or to play a come around behind the corner guard. But she says, well, make it more difficult, shut down the way for the last draw, play it front house maybe.
I don't think she'll be too disappointed if she lines it up with the back stone of her own.
Yep.
And perhaps, as you say, in the front of the house, front blue, front just touching the white maybe. Certainly a good looking line. She just wanted to stop so that if they were hitting it on the nose, they wouldn't count first shot, but it creeps in a bit further than that.
Yep.
Still a small chance for Japan. If the Czechs hit and roll out of the house, then the steal will have been obtained by them. So Kubashkova this time playing the other hand. And she is a left-handed player, so this is for her the in turn. So important to get right down the line of the brush being held at the other end by Pliskova. And a hit on the nose will probably be okay.
Looks good. Looks pretty controlled. Yeah.
So single point to the Czech Republic in the third end. They give up the last stone advantage, but they do lead the game now 1-0, and Japan will have last stone going into end 4.
Well, the fourth end started now, and it's a change of the hammer, as Czech Republic needs to take one in the third end. So they start this one, and they want to get this one before the house, just a close guard, center guard close to the house, which is good, well played by Klara. No, it's not, it's Veronika Herdova.
Well, it's not what she wanted, but it's very early and not really that bad. The front stone is sitting there.
Quite okay percentage throughout the tournament so far, 79% for her. Whereas Klara Svartovala tournament accuracy of about 77%. So they're pretty close. Yeah, well, the line, the shots in front of the house are pretty good lined up for her to play around these 3 stones coming from the outside. And she plays it in turn, so it's clockwise, and we'll have a look on the time. So I would say 14 seconds, a bit more would be nice. 14.5 maybe. And this is the time split between the 2 hawk lines. So where the player releases the stone, and now let's get into it. So it's 4.8, should be good.
Well, she's got a great looking line here.
Yeah.
Just need to sweep it as far as they can. Didn't quite get round, but it was curling a lot towards the finish. And the amount of ice that was given by the skip there, right out in the blue circle, was required because she didn't miss the front guard by that much.
This is one of the things that's pretty much changed the last years. You have this great ice conditions, which means like you have a lot of opportunities when you have such a swinging ice, and also like maybe the stones work sandpaper, so it's just like kind of aggressive cut you have, which means like you have good opportunities on the one hand, but on the other hand you have to make sure that you play your stone pretty much in line, have a really good rotation to make it, to stabilize it in the line the stone is running, and even more the sweepers, much more important. So whenever you need to pass a guard, you need to make sure that you have the possibility to hold it in line. Therefore the demands for the sweepers are that they really fit, have good physical conditions, and good effectivity on sweeping the shot.
And Ogasawara there with her brush right out on the edge of the 12-foot circle, and that stone passing the guard by not very much. So we can just catch up with what's going on in the Norway-Germany game.
It's pretty much the same situation as we had in the first end. Marianne Røvik just needs to draw for a second shot, having a red one on the left-hand side, and she has more or less the open house. This works out well for her. This means a 4-2 lead after 3 ends played. So once again, a very important game for both teams. Maybe a little bit more important for Germany to keep the chance for the playoffs.
Well, this one looks quite firm. Well, just not quite getting right round behind the guard, but good try. And interesting there that Ogasawara ignored the stone belonging to the Czech Republic.
But that's the difference. Like, she's probably, with the way, the style she's playing, it's much more. She says, now is the chance for me to really force maybe a good chance for making 2 in this end.
Yep.
And she doesn't matter. She knows she has a good draw weight at the end, so it's just like...
That's right, and all these stones in front are great to come around. So there's the standings at the moment. 4-0 for China and Japan. 2-2 Czech Republic and Germany. Norway in 2-3, Latvia 1-4, and Italy on no wins. So a little more weight to tap this back from Pliskova, and it's needing to curl. Well, she has tapped it back, but it's just in behind the
bouncing off a little bit to the open side. I think there's a chance when you just, because there's what has also been room, like when the stone was passing the front red guard. So if Japan managed to pass this guard a little bit closer, there's a chance to tap back this red one, as she's pointing right now, the back of the house. This should be possible. Just make sure that you not overthrow it with too much weight. Just maybe backline weight. That should work.
Yep. Olga Sawara making that very clear to Funeyama not to play too much weight. Get the stone curling a little bit. And just hoping to catch the inside of that check counter and roll in behind the guards. Pretty good line here. It curls a lot at the end. But will she get the roll? Well, she did. A lovely shot.
Yeah, really good shot. You can see like the way, the style they play this rock. You could really say it's very, very. They know what they're doing right now. It looks very compact. Everybody knows, and the sweepers are in contact, stay in contact with the skip.
And on sheet B, next to us, the score is 1-1, China and Italy, and here Bingyu Wang with her last stone in the third end, hoping to tap an Italian stone back to get two, but she must pass the guard. Well, she has. And she makes the two. So China grabbing 2 points for a 3-1 advantage after 3 ends. And that game going pretty slowly. We're well on in the 4th end, and that's them just finished the 3rd.
Meanwhile, there was a slight mistake by Pliskova with her last one in this 4th end. She just touched the guard and missed the back once. So it's a good chance now that the risk, say, of Team Japan is paying off, but she really has a good chance now to place another one into the house and maybe lying free after this one. Just make sure that you pass. This over curls, so this will stay as a guard. I think the call was for going into the house again.
Well, certainly guards, probably if you're sitting in the hack at the other end, you can't see really any of that yellow stone belonging to Japan, and we're down to the skip stones of the Czech Republic here in the 4th end. Japan have the last stone advantage, things looking pretty good for them. And unless Kubiskova can come around that stone of her own lying at the top of the 12-foot circle at the front of the house, then she's going to be in a bit of trouble perhaps here. Could end up losing 3. So all this end, the play has been down the left-hand side of the sheet for the play from the player's point of view. And now we're playing down the other side.
Now the sweepers need to make sure that they really be aware about the weight. And this looks a little bit outside. There's much room to the guard, which need to be passed. Now it's coming in, but now they really need to sweep and get it shot now. Quite good attempt, but they need to wait a little bit. They were taking it with sweeping to have the line, but I think it was not necessarily, so they were giving up a little bit the line and also a little bit the weight.
Well, it was quite a good effort because the problem here is the angle of that red stone onto the yellow one in the back of the house belonging to Japan, and it's very easy to tap that red one straight into the gathering grasp of the yellow one. Not so easy to remove it actually without doing that.
Need to pass the front red one, which is touching the blue circle just by a centimeter.
Yes.
But it's still possible. I mean, just another time, maybe a backline weight. Should be the right weight for this.
The problem is, if she gets it wrong, almost certainly it will be a steal for the Czech Republic, because their red stone will lie almost covering the button. So, plenty stones in play at this end, which is good.
On the other hand, she needs to try. At least she could tap it back a little bit over T-line would be nice as for her, just to make sure that she has a chance later on to maybe get into the on the bottom maybe. As there's no really possibility to clean up the center in front of the house, so there are too many rocks in play.
And they're all checked against one another, so you can't raise any of them to any effect. Well, in the circumstances, I think it was a good shot from Kubešková, and actually they lost it a little bit on the sweeping. If they had just kept sweeping, they would have been lying the first shot here.
That was probably the problem. They were taking it from the very beginning and straighten it up. They should just make it the other way around, waiting at the beginning and then really start it when it's going to really bring it to the point. But still, it's good, in a good position. It could be a little bit better. That's the only thing what we maybe criticize a little bit. So, what is she doing? Ayumi Ogasawara needs to pass the red one.
She's certainly going to be very close to the guard, if not on it.
Perfectly. Really good call. Really good call. Really good shot.
Fantastic shot from Ogasawara.
And we did witness the same kind of shots against Germany this morning. Really good. Every time she needs to make this big shots, she was doing it. She was successful in executing this.
Well, look how close it was. In fact, I think it may even have touched it on the way past. Great shot from Japanese skip.
As I said this morning, it's also very important as a player that you really celebrate your successes, your small and also your big successes. It always gives a good momentum, a good team spirit. And now, in this end, Anna Kubešková is really facing a big problem, I would say. It's not really a place to get somewhere. Maybe she's just trying to reduce the risk of getting a big house, maybe trying for a double takeout, but again the angles are not good. Just
no
chance to jam the yellow one in the back forefoot on the right.
Well, this has got into a bit of a mess for the Czech Republic, and all these guard stones in the front have been how this has been able to be worked.
They really need to sweep it, and I think she started this as well, and I think this is on the red one. No, this was not good. Not well played enough. No. So it's already a 3.
And a big chance now for Japan to score 4 here.
Just see, and then in the momentum when she just placed the rotation,
she turned it inside.
Yeah, and it started right away, and there's no chance for the sweepers to keep this online.
Well, back to the practice rinks to fix that problem.
Yeah, it's one of the major things you need to do. Like, it's not nice to train this all. It's of course always nicer to just play games, but as golfers know, or tennis players, where a lot of technical skills are needed, that you really put much effort in the techniques.
That shot's the equivalent to a hook in the golf course, really. So, Tap up here for 4 and easy for Japan. They will score 4 points and move strongly ahead after the 4th end. They lead 4-1 and playing beautifully at this stage.
And that just makes a little bit different. Also the way they are on the ice, they're very, for me, they look very optimistic. And of course, when you play well, you have the spirit as well.
So, as we rejoin the play, the score now 4-1 in favour of Japan. And this high overhead shot from our camera on the rail shows the first stone in this 5th end. Right into the house, exactly what was requested.
Definitely, that makes really sense now from out of the perspective of Team Japan. Just they don't really need to go to play any offensive game now. Just 3 stones ahead. It's up to the Czech team to play more offensive, to get the chance for making at least a deuce. That would be their plan probably for this end.
Well, they certainly need to get right back into this game. And I don't know, it's a curious thing, but in the old days when I played, we always hated being 4-1 down. Somehow 4-1 down seems miles away from winning.
Yeah, it still is. I mean, it's even those days, not even had the free guard zone rule.
Anyway, we'll see what the Czech Republic can do about this one. And Japan quite happy just to put stones into the 4-foot circle, that red one in the middle.
While on the other hand, for Czech Republic, it's not a really disaster. I mean, it's just you're still at the first part of the game. Just coming back with the deuce would be nice. Then forcing maybe in the 6th end Japan to just take 1 and coming back with another deuce, so you're tied up. That's the plan. But then you have to play a little bit more accurate. You need to put your stones in play and make it a little bit more difficult for Team Japan. Right now they don't have really just maybe the end before they had something to do. And there's always better answers by Ayumi Ogasawara with the last shots.
So, Onodera, no doubt about her shot. Remove that red stone belonging to the Czech Republic, and out goes the shooter as well. So now what for Kuberskova? Round the guard. Would you do that, or would you put another guard up?
Would be a chance, but she could just go like trying to play well. It's okay, I would say. If she would be a little bit more offensive, playing another guard, it's a good option. But well, would make no sense like to call the freeze. Maybe this would be another option, but right now maybe too early for this one.
The problem with the freeze is that it has to be so accurate to be effective, and I think it's easier to ask for less complicated shots as long as you make them effectively.
But that's the problem, right? As we can see here right now, that's the problem of the game of Czech Republic so far. They are not really in it in this game. not able to make this easier shots even. So then you can't cause any or force any mistakes by the opponent. So as the two reds are lying pretty close together, it's a good chance to get rid of both of them. Just a question of which one you hit first. So she asked to hit the left one a little bit on the right side, maybe half of it, and then running through this port between the red ones, and maybe run the second red a little bit to the bumper on the outside.
Well, immediate call for the sweepers. It's big weight.
Oh, perfect job.
Oh. She can do no wrong. And it's even going to stick and be right opposite the stone in the house. Well, that was pretty nice. Yes, I think we'll settle for that one, really.
Really nice outcome.
Yeah, 100% for that, really. So, Veronika Herdova having to put up another guard for Czech Republic. And this time a longer guard. Not necessarily a bad thing. The problem with the longer guard here is because there's so much curl on the ice that it's probably quite difficult to hide behind a longer guard. You have to have them closer to the house to be able to be really hidden. So
also really nice call on this, but just to hit it from the outside to make sure that the red one is not jamming on the yellow one in the house.
And at the moment, Japan making all their shots.
It's just an easy way for them to play, just to keep in control. They're not facing any difficult shots so far. Just keep it simple, keep it controlled. And that's maybe coming back to the early ends, like Team Czech Republic was really like they were waiting, try to be patient, try to be controlled, but this was not paying off at all. So they lost maybe 2 or 3 ends just to get into the game. And now they're fighting to get into the game, and also already 3 behind.
And that's a poor shot. Just creeping into the house. Neither one thing nor the other. It had to be freezing onto one of these, or else it had to be a guard.
Yeah.
Where it is not too difficult for Funiyama to remove it. She can hit this on the nose, and Japan will be lying 3. Well, good enough. She doesn't really need the shooter to stick there.
No, they just want to make sure that they really do not jam the red one on any yellow in the back. Just as the situations right now, it's pretty good for them. Despite that, they're lying a little bit in the back house. Leaves Czech Republic at least a chance for playing a freeze, but as you said before, it's difficult to have a really a good freeze. You need to be so precise.
Well, I'm certainly very impressed with the Japanese play. They are very, very solid, and I think they'll be tough to beat. In the last game, of course, they will play China. And if they play like this, it could be very difficult for Bing Yuang to beat them. She, obviously, former world champion in 2009, the Chinese Chinese team.
But, like the last year, were not this good anymore. They
That's
had
right.
this good Olympics as well, but not like really this. And then world champion 2009, but still like not perfect. And they were, otherwise they wouldn't be here. Like
that's absolutely right.
We're not expected to be here in this qualification for the Olympic tournament in a few weeks.
Ogasawara choosing to ignore the Czech guard. Try and pop another stone around behind it. And lie two. Certainly got nice weight. We'll see if the line's good. It's a very nice shot.
And that makes a difference. It's like really they know how to play. They didn't need so far, but right now they need to play it, and they play it. And that's really very good attempt of the Japanese team. Caused some problems for Anna Kubeshkova.
I think the Japanese, I think Ogasawara is also reading this ice very well. She's giving plenty of ice for the stones to come past the guards. She's not touching off the guards at all. They're always getting past and making their shots. And that's one of the differences between them and the Czechs. They're inside the line and touching off the guards and catching time after time. And that's just been one of the major differences here, I think.
Definitely. I totally agree on that. Especially the way they play, they release the stones. They're pretty much rotation on that. They played active, and so they are able to be in control of the line of the stone. And then the right calls, like the right momentum when they call for line, and for the weight and everything, that works out well. So it's a good team performance so far from Team Japan. It's not spectacular, but it's just control and good. Very solid.
Well, I can't honestly say I can remember very many shots that they've missed in this game. This has to get past, and no, that touches off. So
they were fighting for the line, but they were losing the shooter. Just okay, it stays shot rock for the moment, but it's totally open. So good chance for Ayumi Ogasawara.
And a great shot here for Ogasawara would be to hit that out and roll in just behind the cover to lie. Yep, showing maybe half of it to the Czech skip for her last stone here in the fifth end. Trying to make it as hard as possible for Kubeshkova to take 1 point. And of course 1 point's not what she wants. She wants more than one, but she's going to be struggling to get one here. Going to have to play a good draw shot or an accurate takeout for her single point. Let's see what Ayumi Ogasawara can do here. 90% on hits in 5 ends. Very good.
This one stays a little bit outside. They need to be patient, need to wait that this will curl in the end. So not the roll, the side they wanted to, but still make sure that the red one is hit out.
Well, not bad. It's definitely going to force the Czechs to take a point. And if Kubeshkova's been found to be wanting on getting good line on these takeouts, and if she just ducks it in or pushes it a little wide and loses the shooter, she's giving up 2 more shots here to Japan. She's got to make a hit and stick.
The good thing, she has a little bit of backing when she's just a little bit inside. She might have a roll to the back yellow one, but we will see. Needs a little bit of roll to the right side, a little bit. This looks not too bad, but I think not enough. Could be.
Well, could be a measure here.
Yeah.
So a measure here to determine whether Japan take another point for a 5-1 lead or the Czechs get one back.
It's hard to tell because the camera always not giving us the right angle. Also, it's pretty much centered, but you cannot really tell from this perspective. What is your bet?
You wait till you meet the guys that put that camera up there after this game, Uli. You're in trouble now.
No, of course, it's pretty much center, but it's just like a little bit. You cannot really tell the last half centimeter.
Backtracking fast.
Yeah.
Well, to me,
you could blame the ice makers. No, we won't. That's probably, we can promise that they are really centered, of course.
To me, I think it looks as if the Czechs might have just got it. The red stone fractionally closer. I don't have a high success rate in these guesses at this stage, but we'll see what happens here.
At least Pliskova, which is quite understandable, she was... So, of course, the Czech third player, that she was pointing to the red one.
Yes. So we're going to see here whether it touches or not.
It's
very close.
Okay, here you go.
Yeah, see, right as usual.
You won this.
Well. So, a little touch of good fortune for Kubashkova there. The stone did draw quite a bit towards the end of its run, and just enough for it to roll fractionally in, and for the Czech Republic to take a point and narrow the score to 4-2. Last stone going back to Japan, of course, at the fifth end break.
So we see the chance for making 4, yeah. So it's just like the first stone of Ogasava. Really nice hit and stick, really good. Lying 3, building up a good chance, and now as Kubashkova was on the guard, she has just an open draw for making the 4, which means a really solid 4-1 lead after 4 ends played. Then fifth end, Kubashkova really needed to make sure that she stays not only in the ring but only rolls into the center a little bit to be better than the other 2 yellow or other 3 yellow, and it was just enough, a little bit of roll, just enough after measure that this red one counts. So she getting a single at least, and as you can see, like it's 4-2 for Japan after 5 ends played. Now a chance for the coaches to take over.
So fourth end, Italy against China. China leading 3-1 after the third end. And this take-out stone from Italy. Chance to level the score here. She can make 2. Well, great shot. And it will be 2 for Italy to tie the game at 3-3 after 4 ends. Hanging on in there, causing China some bother. And in the other match, Norway still leading Germany 4-2. The fourth end in that game was blanked.
Když to bude 2+, tak můžeme jet za ní na 4.
So Richard, how is your check?
Oni by podle pravidel teda by měli hrát druhý na stejnou
Not
stranu.
good, mate.
Takže ten double by tam pak měl být. Pokud nepojedou za ty guardy, pojedou, tak my potřebujeme.
I'm always intrigued by what they eat here.
I think they're discussing what they eat. No, it's just what is it like?
I don't know why you have to have a meal in the middle of a game. You've only been playing for an hour and a quarter.
Yeah, I need to. It's just all about like
sort of team bonding, eating, and all that stuff.
Well, actually, it's quite. It's depending on the time. So right now, actually, we're having it's not a nice time because you're too early for having like dinner, and you will like it's a long time ago where you were having lunch somehow. So of course you need to you need to start eating a little bit before you get hungry. So just to have enough power, that's okay. And not forget to drink. So it's one of the things to have your balance somehow. Just a little bit things, as you could see, was all proper healthy food.
Well, I noticed the Japanese the other day had tomatoes in their box, but nobody was eating the tomatoes.
Probably salt and pepper was missing. So, look on the percentages, on the stats so far. So it's, as you can see, a really good advantage for Team Japan, 86%. Quite solid game of them.
I think it really tells the story. They have been the better team by a little bit in this first 5 ends of play.
Yeah, really nice perspective. Like you could see the hacks where the players start their sliding delivery. As a right-hander, you start from the left hack.
So the last stone advantage back with Japan, and the last time they had this, of course, they went on an all-out attack end and scored 4. They now have the last stone and lead by 2. There's less pressure on them to try the same again, but they played so well the last time. There's every prospect, if they did go for quite an attacking game, that they could score a few more points. So passing the guard by quite a bit, but they're reading this ice well because they're still going to get the stone partly covered by the guard. Nice play, very good play. So there it is, top of the 8-foot white circle there, just about perfect spot. Svatanova then.
Quite okay game of her, like 77%. It's solid, it's okay. It's not spectacular, but still is good. Just needs to make sure that this one ends up just at the yellow one, not bouncing off, but it's a little bit too heavy, and then it rolls to the open side. So another good chance for Japan to get rid of this red one and roll to the open side and stay in control once more in this game. Just
that shot of the Czechs had to be very, very accurate for weight, and even if it was a little shorter and had the line, it would be better than bouncing off and leaving it open for the hit and roll. Well, just the hit, but I don't think they mind that much.
But once again, I mean, they're not in the position right now. She asked for takeout, and she just should think it over maybe, but she's not doing. Just maybe why not playing a draw just in front of this yellow one and play the takeout later on. But that's the style of play. They're pretty young, so they need to figure out themselves that they have much more like possibilities in the game.
And this one was steered pretty tight. If they're lucky to get past the guard. Oh well. They swept that like dervishes.
Still, it's a good shot. I mean, it's a double takeout, but what does it help? I mean, it's just like, okay, they're lying one shot now, and now it's still the game of,
I don't quite know how she got past the guard. The stone seems to run a little straighter right down the middle of the ice than it does further up. I think perhaps the ice is slightly dished. You can see from some of the earlier stones that they pull quite a long way from the outside towards the middle. The further out you are from the middle, but right down the middle line, it's quite straight.
You're right.
So, Dova with her second shot. And wide with this one, she will spill her shooter out of play, and now advantage Japan once more, the chance to come round this guard.
That's one of the things, like Czech Republic is really facing some problems. They lose too many shooters. They just cannot keep their own, especially when they go for the takeouts. You need to make sure that your shooter stays, unless you're leading like Team Japan. But the Czech Republic cannot really afford to lose their own stones.
But I think, Uli, if you watch the deliveries of the two teams, the Japanese slide right down the line and let the stone go right at the brush, and the Czechs are steering it out a bit, in a bit, pushing it, and it's not really that accurate.
Yeah, you're right. And then it makes it even more difficult for the skip, like to call, like for the sweeping. The lines are always different. Every stone is reacting different, and it's hard to build confidence. And you really cannot tell how the stones are running. It's not this bad. I mean, you can see it's steady, light, but the way then they release it in the end, it's just a little bit too much, either in one direction or in the other.
10. I když ne, je to 13. Nic. Wow. Buď u něj, Kláro. Yep. Yep. Wow.
Well, she's got the line, but it's too far. Into the back of the house is not where she needed to be. And the guards were there for a chance to get right round behind the top of the 4-foot circle. Would have set her up well for the possibility of a steal of a point, but don't think it's so good where it is now. And Ogasawara taking no risks, taking off the guard.
So we see Biju Wang has a good chance, drawing for 2 now in the 5th end. Just probably making it better, as we remember the first end where she was too short. Now maybe a good chance for her to take advantage of this situation. A lot of rocks in play. So this time she's for sure a little bit with more weight. So for the sweepers it's just time to watch this. Cannot do anything, but in the end it stops enough. So it's 2 yellow and a 5-3 lead after 5 ends. So we're back in our featured game. As Japan was taking off the guard before. Has been another draw into the house by the Czechs. Yumi Funajama, really good game of her, 95% so far. And now she needs to play a lightweight takeout, but as you can see, this curls really much. It even looks like that there might be a pick of this one that really over curls, and I think she was not playing it so much to the inside. Might have a look. Really curled a lot. I think she was actually not playing this too much to the inside.
About a meter more than it should have. No, I think that must have caught something.
But there is a chance now for Czech Republic to somehow get into the game. They are lying covered with a shot rock and now have a chance to attack the second one. The question is it really necessary to go for this?
No, definitely
not. Not at all.
I think you would definitely be drawing round behind these guards again and try to lie 2 in the back there. And you must finish in the front of the tee line and lie 2 and really put the pressure on Japan.
Yeah.
This is the wrong shot. Especially trailing 4-2 and having an end set up nicely. So when they watch the video of this later in their coaching session, they
listen to Richard
and Dooley, who both agree.
No, definitely, I would agree. It's just the momentum when you really have to take some risk. You have to rely on what you can do. You play the shot, and
well, they're struggling in the game. The percentages are behind the Japanese, and suddenly there's a little opportunity opened up from nowhere, and you've got to take it. And now, because that stone is behind the tee line and is not guarded by another one in front, lying 2, there's a big chance for Ogasawara to just draw right down to that and lie first shot.
So the same percentages in her game as her third. So backhand really well played so far. Now it counts. She really needs a good draw now. But if this comes right to the point where she wants to have it, there's really a perfect chance for making 2 in this end. And really good call. Really good call.
Once more, fantastic line. It looked wide all the way, and they gave the ice absolutely perfectly, the right spot. Tremendous play from Japan once more, and they should never have been allowed to get down that line if the Czechs had covered it up with the last stone instead of hitting that back one out. So Japan allowed to come right back into this end. And Kubashkova has to follow this one down, and what she mustn't do is either catch the guard or tick off the yellow one and leave it lying open. That will just give a chance for Ogasawara to make 2 shots. So this has to be very accurate. So instead of possibly getting a steal of 1 or 2 points, she's now struggling to keep Japan to 1 point.
There still is a chance for getting shot, but this has to also curl now a lot.
Big weight, really.
Yeah, it stays straight, therefore.
Too heavy.
Yeah, far too heavy. And misses the yellow one. Running back a little bit the other red one, so even more room now, more space for Ogasawara with her last to play another one. Good chance for 2.
So I would say there's a 90% certainty of 2 here. That's how confident I think Ogasawara is in her shot play.
Now let's see. 14.5, I would guess, would be perfect. Between the 2 hawk lines. They need to sweep it right away to make sure that's enough speed. So it's 14.6, so this should be okay. Pretty much in control. Yes, there it is.
Perfect.
Once again, really nice executed. Really nice shot. Good teamwork of Team Japan. Once again, they show that they really know what they're doing here. So Really nice, comfortable lead, 6-2. Pretty much in charge in this game.
So welcome back to the BLZ Arena here in Füssen in Germany. This is the 7th end of play in the game between Japan and the Czech Republic. I'm Richard Harding, and Uli Kapp is with me this afternoon to bring you coverage of this match. And in summary, at the moment, Japan are quite convincingly outplaying their opposition from the Czech Republic. But perhaps even more important is they are playing really superbly well in this game. Hardly missing a shot. Reading the ice beautifully, perfect control of the draw weight, and very accurate takeouts. Are you impressed with the Japanese team here, really?
Well, to me, they look quite solid the way. They really know. I think we said it once again. So we see the last stone again on the 6th end of her. It's just the way, very controlled. They know what they're doing. Just everybody on every position knows what they're doing. There's a lot of communication going on. They just, as you said, they give the right ice. They're good with the sweeping, the estimation, how the weight is, and all this. This works out well. That helps. It's really good. And to me, they look probably don't want to see. It's going to be a really interesting game against China in the last round-robin game tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. So, but Team China is in control against Italy. Should win this. They're not too good so far. Like 5. Here we are. Oh, look, that's nice. So 5-3 still. So this was a really nice shot now played from the Czech team, really good. So now they're building up a little bit of end. So, but we would have liked to see this kind of stones a little bit before. Right now, probably it's already too late in the game to play this kind of offensive stones, like meaning kind of tap back, freezing, try to force. Oh, funny. She wanted to play with the red stones, and her colleagues said, well, you better choose the yellow one. Wouldn't be a big problem when you play the wrong one.
No, it gets replaced.
Yeah,
you don't get penalized for that, fortunately. So
this was a forced missed so far, but we have a chance now to have a look to Germany against Norway. It's the last stone of Andreas Schöpp in the 6th end, chance of 2. So to tie the game. As we said before, really important game for Germany. They're sitting 2-2. This looks a little bit heavy, but has a backing here with the red one in the back house. And it was just enough for the line and also for the weight. So it's 4-4 now after 6 ends played.
So interesting nomination here from Ogasawara. Not sure if I agree with this particular call. Well, it might be okay. I don't think she'll mind if the guard gets removed here.
Yeah.
And in fact, if she does catch it, oh well.
You just have to make sure that you, if you have a mistake, then be a little bit more inside.
You can
just
see.
If you just hit it a little bit and miss the second one as well, that would be the worst. But if you pass it, it's perfect. So another good call.
Yes, nice shot. And Japan can't miss at the moment. Kubashkova, what to do? What would you do here, Uli? You're lying.
Just using
for
the level.
shot,
Yeah,
but
you need to use the yellow ones. Just put on another freeze. Just somehow work with the yellow ones. Just keep them in play and try to use them for your own profit.
the problem here is it's really easy for Japan to remove your counting shot. This one looks quite heavy.
I think this was what she wanted to play, just a hit, which I cannot understand really.
You did make the point earlier, and it's absolutely true. The Czech team are probably a lot less experienced, really, and they are younger. They're in, between 20 and 24. Japanese team are very experienced over the years. And there we are once more in the standings, just for a moment. Japan and China at the top. Germany struggling against Norway. And the Czechs, of course, losing here. They're on 2-2, and Latvia and Italy at the bottom. Latvia having the bye here, and Italy playing China currently.
Just coming back to the experience of this team, I could imagine that they were told by Karol Kubeška that somehow, well, stay controlled, keep it simple. But the problem is with those young teams, they just stay with it, and they don't react when they need to, maybe. They just want to be played, like the coach said, well, don't take too much risk, for example. This is just an estimation what I'm talking about, but it looks like a little bit. So they don't have the flexibility in their tactics. Like, when is the time to play the other alternative, when you really need to go? When is the right momentum to switch your tactics?
And there's still quite a lot of work to do on the actual technique and shot play. So Japan quite happy to keep piling in the yellow stones into the house. The game is pretty much being played in the house. That's to their advantage.
Yeah.
They don't want anything short, which gives the chance for Czech team to draw around behind it and possibly take 2 or 3 shots in an end. That's looking very unlikely at this end.
Or even to just make sure that you're in control of the front house. this area is the place where they want to be.
Well, nice hit and roll there from Pliskova.
But still, I think it's more than half a rock you can see out of the player's position. But they should go for this one, just to go for the easy one. Maybe roll a little bit to the left-hand side from the perspective of the player. It's depending. We might wait until the camera shows us the above perspective. So, thank you. That's great. So, I would say, like, just going for the red one in the center, it's easier. You don't have to take too much risk. Just make sure that you're lying 2 or 3, maybe roll a little bit to the right side.
I think she's been a little bit reluctant to go for the red because it's so close to that yellow, but I don't think she needs to worry too much about that.
Definitely. Just keep the 2 yellows in play and let her play the takeout. But she goes for the more difficult one, I would say.
For the second time in this end.
I would say nice played, but at least she loses the shooter as well.
Ještě zajet? Já se trochu bojím, že už nebude čas pak.
Okay, for us a chance to watch Italy versus China, and we see the Italian skip Veronica Zampone with her last shot.
Takže co? Takže co?
Another chance here. Needs to get into the house with the draw weight. A little bit heavy. Sweepers cannot do anything, and from the tee line, chance to sweep for China, and this is a really big mistake, kind of. It's another 2 for Team China, so this looks pretty much that this game is quite in the hand of Team China. 7-3 after 6 hands played.
Well, I don't quite know what they were trying to do there, but I don't think that's quite the result they wanted.
I would recommend just to have this freeze in between both the yellow and the red.
Yes.
Charlestown make it difficult for Japan to get rid of this shooter, the plate stone, but this was not curling enough.
Now there's a good chance to hit the red stone, and exactly. Thank you for showing us what we're going to explain to you. Roll in front of that red, of course, making it more difficult to remove the Japanese counter if Masara succeeds with that.
So once again, that's also a thing what I really appreciate what they're doing, not only for us as viewers, but like the team. Everybody knows what's going to be, what the call is. They're just pointing very accurate. They're reading the game, they're telling what they want to play. Everybody knows what to do right now in this situation. So that's very important. Everybody's aware of the situation, everybody knows the weight. So you can see the sweepers, there are a lot of contact to the Y skip in the house. Well, the result is not perfect, I would say, but still it's not a really comfortable situation for Anna Kubeshkova, because the double, I think, is not really possible. Always the risk of jamming the shot yellow one to the red one.
Well, she got the roll, but not just quite enough.
The only chance would be hit the left yellow one first on the right side and run it through the yellow one the shot rock, and get rid of this one just probably parallel to the T-line. But therefore you need a really heavy weight, Scottish weight.
And you need to be accurate.
Accurate.
Which is a challenge. Really accurate.
But I think she's trying it. We'll see. But it's the only chance for line 2 after the shot, and that's...
The big danger here is jamming the yellow stone on the left of her picture onto that red one that you can see behind the brush. That's a
therefore she needs to
possibility.
But therefore she needs to hit the left yellow one first.
Don't think she's giving ice for that. Well, she's certainly having a go at that.
She is, but the question is, does she has too much weight? Yeah, well, there's nice attempt, but not enough power or not enough weight to get rid of this yellow one the way she wanted to.
No, I think she had to throw a bullet to make that work.
You can see there was, I think, the right spot to hit it, but not enough power to get rid of this yellow one.
So the yellow stone will lie second shot, and we have 2 stones remaining here. This one from Ogasawara, and the last stone belonging to Kuberskova. So she needs to retain the shooter here and lie 1 and 2 really.
Maybe roll a little bit to the left side when we follow the stone from the perspective of the player. Now we switch, but so a little bit of roll to the right side to make it difficult for Anna Kubeshkova with her last for playing a double. Now it's possible right now. There's a double there for 2. Of course she needs to play it.
Well, it's definitely on for 2, but it's a demanding shot for the last stone of the end.
The good thing, at least she had this try before somehow, a different spot. It was in a different place, but still it's a chance. She knows maybe. But now we're coming to the point, what you said before. We are in the inner part, so maybe this is more straight in this area.
Yep, I think there's.
So they have to be
chance
careful of that. Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And this one's, if anything, on the outside.
And
coming a bit now, but not enough, I don't think.
Yeah. A little bit of roll, but not enough. Not enough.
Yeah. Thank you.
So it will be a single point for Kuberskova and her Czech team. Narrows the score to 6-3, but not really an impression on the Japanese lead of any substance at the 7th end. And Japan will continue to dominate the game and get the last stone advantage back again.
Well, that's as we had a look on the scoreboard, you could really see that's it tells somehow how the game works. Not only that the Japan is in the lead, but always only making the Czech team only making 1 when they had maybe a chance. They're not forcing really the chance for getting more than 1. And if you count everything together, it's by far not enough to have a chance to win this.
That's right. The Czechs taking their points at the away end, and the Japanese getting their points, coming in this direction towards where we are sitting.
Now we have a kind of change in tactics of Team Japan, which I totally agree is somehow, okay, they ignore the center guard, but not going like for splitting up the guard, but just put some rock in play, a little bit on the outside, and maybe later on they start getting rid of the center guards, but also have a chance, easy chance, maybe making another 2. So I would say it's an easy, a smart way to make 2 and maybe decide the game this end. We'll see. Really nice attempt, really nice come around.
And this time in front of the T-line, which is good for them. But, you know, if anything, they pass the guard a little bit too tightly, and of course it just comes out fractionally on the other side. And Ogasawara knows this line like the back of her hand now in this game. She knows exactly where to put the brush for the stone to draw right in there. This one might be a fraction inside for... It is. Well, definitely wasn't what was asked for. Well, it's
still not too bad. At least open up the middle, the center, and gives good opportunity to attack the shot rock later on. If there's no guard anymore. So they really have to fight for the, not only for the line here, but to get this over the hog line. It's really, really played with less weight. And it's gonna be close. It needs to be over totally, but it just worked out. But of course, this guard not really helps.
No, it's not difficult to come past that and tap the red one out. And there we can see the difference in play between the second players. Onodera better in both departments, hits and draws.
Looks good. Maybe a little bit of roll to the left side. That was the spot I really like.
Great shot.
Yeah, just the way they really wanted to play and made it there. Really good. Also, they're facing 2 guards they probably don't like, but right now the situation still is like they can live with it, unless the Czech team is not playing a perfect come around in there. This looks like a little bit played inside out, a little bit straightened up, so they really have to wait until this stone breaks, and it's another time too heavy.
So critical really to finish in front of the T-line and take the play to the Japanese. Back there it's much less of a problem because they can just follow it down and tap it back, but selecting to remove the guard.
Even with the chance like to run it back to the yellow one, to the own yellow one, and put this in one into the, they wouldn't mind if it somehow rolls into the house, at least there's a chance, and you have to think of those chances. So that's the angle she's looking for, hitting the red one, I would say 3/4 maybe, or maybe half a rock, and then run it to the yellow one, hit it there on the right-hand side, and maybe jam this one back into the house. And then we'll see what's happened there. As it is their own stone, they don't mind if it's running somewhere into the house. Just to make sure that they open up the middle. That's the first priority. And then they just missed the second one, but that's okay.
Yeah, pretty good shot, given the circumstances. So very, very important that this stone is in the front of the house and perhaps partially round the one remaining guard belonging to Japan. This also looks quite firm in weight. Line might be pretty good, but it's going to be well into the house. Well, good shot.
Also, this is not perfectly played, but still, it's some work to do for Team Japan, and that was the missed opportunities. Maybe Team Czech, just give it a try. Just try those kind of stones. Just make it a little bit more difficult for Team Japan, for some mistakes maybe. And well, in this game it might be too late, but never say never. We'll see.
Well. We're in the first stone of the third player for Japan, and an option would have been to remove their own guard, but it's always pretty defensive. And when you're leading, you're not that keen to do that if there's something else there to play instead. So instead they're going for the takeout on this back counter. Hoping to roll it away to the left-hand side. It does. In fact, it's just a little bit too far.
That's okay. They really don't need it like lying there somewhere in the back.
No, that just gives a chance to the Czechs, really. So, fairly good shot, but if Kubashkova can get another stone in behind, just right next to that one's far enough in that if she plays another one and hides behind the guard, lies two there, she's in fairly good shape. She just has to remember, of course, that she doesn't have last stone advantage, but that stone of the Czechs at the moment is the first shot. So if you could come right round there and freeze it and lie 1 and 2, you'd be in really good shape.
Definitely. She's more thinking of playing a freeze on the yellow one.
That's the place where she's tapping her brush. Has to be very, very accurate though. You see, this way there's a chance.
Well,
perhaps.
I would say the only problem this might is like, now she's going for the one shot you were thinking of, like just another come around, maybe lying 2 now. After this one it's played perfectly, but still it's like behind one corner guard, and for sure like Team Japan will try to get rid of this corner guard later on and maybe have a good chance to remove those if you not play another good guard. That's the only thing. So sometimes it's not too bad if you go on the other side and give there some options to play for. Keep the opponent busy on the other side.
Yes.
And maybe go for this come around with the last, but this is of no use.
No, that's a poor shot. Too hard and a little bit too wide. And the problem really is that even with the shot I was suggesting, the 4-foot circle is wide open for Ogasawara to draw to, and she's been deadly on the draws all the way through here, so I think there's very little chance of her missing that. So we're just going for the takeout on this red stone in the house, I think. And she won't mind if it catches the gar, but if it passes it by next to nothing and removes the check stone, then no problem. Well,
but once again, very good. Also, she was on the guard, but she just, as Ogasawa did figure out that this stone will be on the guard, that she's just let it go, a little bit more curl, that she makes sure the guard is really open. And
yes,
that was another good call. So you have to have this alternative in mind.
And in fact, it's now partly guarding her own stone on the in the 8-foot circle on the tee line on that side of the house. So she got a little bonus out of that one. Now Japan have last stone advantage here. They're leading 6-3, and we're down to the skip stones. 4 stones remaining. Kuberskova first of all. And the biggest problem she has here is that the 4-foot circle is wide open for Japan to draw to in the event of things going a bit wrong for them.
A little bit too heavy, therefore the yellow one on the left side is second best stone. You can see a really good game of the Japanese skip, 96%. It's more than solid.
Yep, certainly is. Just taking care with this shot because it's very easy to jam it onto your own stone, red onto yellow. And although the 4-foot circle, as I've been saying, is still wide open for the last shot draw, puts a little bit more pressure on you if you're lying 2 or 3 against you. So here I think just hoping to take it out. She won't mind too much if her played stone runs out of the house as well, as long as that red one. I think she's eyeing up the possibility of moving both these reds.
Yeah, she's taking off.
Getting greedy now.
But therefore she has to be really have to be really sure that she's not passing this red one and hitting her own one, the yellow one in the back. That would be worse than giving Kuberskova a chance for a big house then. So that's the only thing I'm not like with this stone.
But she does have last stone, and the house is wide open in the middle, so she has to remove this red stone. There's no doubt about that. It's just they've taken some time to consider how they're going to do it. I think half stone and run the shooter out of play is the best shot here. Well, she's pretty good at this stage. Oh my goodness. Wow. That stone straightened up, Uli. I was watching the line carefully, and they were sweeping it nicely because it looked like drawing, and then it just ran pretty straight on her. So a little bit lucky to get the result she got, but I don't think it was her fault.
So we have an update coming here. So it's the last stone of Veronika Zampone in the 7th end. So they're four rocks behind. 7th free lead of China. So Italy, the only team with no win so far. tries to tap back another one, but it overcurls. So just one, the one single, the red one in the middle, in the center of the house. That counts in the end. So it's a little bit getting closer, but still a very comfortable lead by China. 7-4 after 7 ends played.
Back here, Boškova just trying to come around this guard and face up to the Yellowstone and live first shot, make it really tough for Ogasawara. But
not enough.
Just curled.
Yeah.
Stopped a little bit in front of the Yellowstone, and Japan will lie one with a chance to play a draw for 2.
So that's probably a situation where you have a good chance making this 2. You have a 8-3 lead. Maybe a time for shake hands. I don't want to proclaim that.
Too late, you just did. So she's been really good on the draw shots here. 8th end. Sweepers are onto it quite quickly. She has to be fully in the white part of the circle.
Looks a little bit short.
Could be this time. Or is it?
No, it's not enough. No. It's just a single. It's just a single. So that means we have a 7-3 lead after 8 ends played. So another view on the scoreboard. The first time that Japan could not take advantage of the last rock, in the meaning of like making more than one. They had a good chance, but just a little bit too light with the weight, not enough for getting the deuce. So we go for the 9th end, so no shake hands by Team Czech. They still have some hopes to get somehow into the game again. Of course, it's a very, as we said before, it's a very important game for Czech Republic. They need this win to keep their hopes alive for the playoffs. And on the opposite, Team Japan, with this win, they're definitely in. And also, I think, definitely on 1st or 2nd position.
Yes, that will almost certainly be decided in the last game of this round-robin series against China. Both teams on course at the moment for victory here, both of them to retain their unbeaten records. And they meet, of course, in the last round. So just to remind everybody about our match today, we're here in the BLZ Arena in Füssen in Bavaria, Germany. And Uli Kapp and I are watching this Japanese game against Czech Republic. We're in the 9th end and Japan are leading 7 shots to 3. On target for victory. And in this 9th end already they have the play in the house, which is exactly where they want it. And the difference really has been the Czech team are Still pretty young, as you pointed out earlier. They're between 20 and 24, really, and they just have to tighten up all departments of their game. Lots of practice required.
Just like, as you can see on this stone, like the first was too heavy, like into the house, and the second one is just far too short. It's just the reaction. You don't want to be, again, too heavy, and then you put away from the weight, and she's just not having the right feeling to reduce this. I don't want to say that she's not having the right feeling, but just it's not perfectly. I
think they've just run out of steam, as we say in English. They've just they're just not playing their shots really very well anymore, and they're beaten force. Japan just throwing it through. No need for any danger. They're lying 2 shots here, and
perfect setup for Team Japan. Just quite comfortable. Nothing to do, nothing to react.
And they don't mind if this end is, if they give up a single point here. They still lead by 3 with last stone advantage going down the 10th. What they don't want to do is lose more than 1, although even that wouldn't be a disaster at this stage. But they've not shown signs of losing more than 1 really all the way through this game. They've been forcing the Czechs to take a point.
The attempt was a guard. Another time too long, too much weight on this. Japanese team is just the task is just to stay focused, stay into the game, play it down solid, not giving the Czech team any chance to get somehow back into this game.
Well, good shot there from Onodera, just hitting and running. All the momentum in the direction of the Japanese team. So Herdova once more. Well, it's over, but to have much chance to get use out of the guard, you have to be closer to the house.
Even though quite understandable that Ayumi Ogasawara is asking for another peeling, another clearing off this guard.
Well, they can throw the big weight, the Japanese women, with accuracy.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of the needs you need to make. You train for, like, really.
Yeah, you have to be able. Yeah, you have to be able to do that now. At the World Championships earlier in the year in Riga, in Latvia, the 3 teams who were who were really better than all the others. Scotland with Eve Muirhead. And
was Team Sweden,
Canada,
Canada as well,
Rachel Holman and Maria Pritz from Sweden, and those 3 teams. I did quite a lot of watching of the games and some commentary, and those 3 teams were, to my mind, in Riga, were the best 3 women's teams I've ever seen. Even though we've had world champions before, they could control big weight takeouts. And that's something that's always been a little bit of a struggle for some of the best women's teams up till now, but not them. So you have to have that part of your game in good shape to be in with a chance of winning a world championship these days.
I totally agree on that. And even like having this flexibility in the different kinds of takeout weight. Keep it, throw it control weight when you need to stay into the rings, and then play the heavy ones when you really need to get rid of any other opponent's stones or whatever, or run it back whenever it's necessary. So.
So, the last of the third player stones here in the 9th end. Japan leading 7-3 and lying 2 shots in the house. No guards in play. Wide open. And at this stage, the best the Czechs are going to get here would be probably a single point, unless they can make something of this. Well, it's behind the it's behind the Japanese counter in the back. 12 foot.
And better than the yellow one on the right side, so they're...
Turned out okay. But can she make a 2 out of it? That's the key thing. Skip stones remaining here in end number 9.
Well, it's one of the things I'm not sure about. This shot probably is more complicated than she needs to. When not playing drawing to the open out, you just need the edge of the 8 foot to make sure that you're lying 2. She's asking, or even, well, that's the good thing about this one. I mean, if you split it up a little bit, it's not too bad. When you try to follow this pass, like to play the same shot again, the other one would be just run it back. I mean, it's just like, then you take, of course, the risk. But leading by 4 stones, I think you can do it. Just maybe run it back. Just keep it open.
I think you can do any of these things and it wouldn't be a wrong shot.
Yeah.
The key thing is trying to make sure that you make the shot.
So she was listening to us.
She was listening to you. I still quite liked her previous call to come round behind and just tap it.
Yeah.
Because that outcounts the red stone if you're lying 2 yellows.
But I think she just need to keep it simple somehow. Okay, this is not a simple and easy shot, this run back, but still, when she's opening up, it's another chance, only for 2, it's not for more. When she tries playing a draw somehow, it's still maybe a chance for more.
Yeah, I think we have to bear in mind that her takeout play has been extremely accurate, so there's a very high chance of her making this shot. It's pretty much just a hit on the nose.
Yeah.
So, well, they're fast onto the sweeping, but if anything, it's a fraction on the high side. But she plays a nice weight so that she gets the curl. Oh, well, not quite.
Well, okay. This is not perfect, obviously. Still shot rock. But the question is, what is Czech Republic doing though? They go for another draw. It's just depending where they can place it, that is somehow causing a risk for Team Japan.
Well, or she could just take that yellow one out and lie 2.
But then you would be somehow in a situation, Team Japan wants it just an open situation. So she's going for a draw, just forcing another. She's really tried to force for another and tries to somehow get the chance, maybe get a 3 here in this end.
Now I think you're dreaming. I think getting a 2 here is a good result.
This is just like really probably a provocating here, but still.
Well, the Czech team have struggled a little bit with the weight here, mostly a little heavy quite often.
This also stays straight.
And too heavy.
Yeah. No.
Well, I know what's happening next anyway.
Just
well, hit both of these out of play and lie 3.
Yeah. She does not even need to. Like just getting rid of this red one. Just clipping this off and then lying 2 would be enough.
Even if she hits it pretty much on the nose and jams it to the back, her one will be in front, so it's really not a big problem. But I think she just needs to hit it slightly off the nose, and the 2 red ones will go, and it will force the Czech Republic to draw for a single point once more.
Need to sweep this, keep this in line, make sure that they get this at the right spot, and looks good. Looks right there to make the double. Not lying 3, but 2. That's also very comfortable. And therefore, doesn't matter. The task is just to play for 1 now for Czech Republic, for Anna Kubešková.
Great shot from Ayumi Ogasawara in the 9th end with her last stone, and now the final stone in the 9th. Kubešková a draw against 2 for a single point to narrow the score to 7-4. I think it's a good looking weight this time. Yeah, she will get her point. Nice draw shot from Kubešková.
So now they think, shall we go for another one, or shall we say it's enough for today?
Well, you never know. It's only 3 behind. If you were 4 or 5 behind, maybe you
stealing 3
give up. But it's not looked like a game where they're going to steal 3. But you are playing for a place in the Winter Olympic Games, and before this game ends, both these teams are still in the hunt. So I certainly wouldn't stop at this stage. If I was Kubešková. You might as well play and give it a go. No. I don't think we're suddenly going to get Japan missing shots all over the place, but, well, you don't know.
Well, they told themselves they just give it a try. I mean, it's like probably they're not believing in it, but they probably will blame them later on, maybe themselves later on, that say why we stopped before we not played it to the end.
That's right.
That's okay from our side. So we see. So what team Czech Republic needs is just guards in play, a lot of stones in play, and some misses by Team Japan.
But I think, I don't know whether they haven't discussed it, but I think the Czechs need to discuss that the guards need to be closer to the house to be effective on this in these conditions, because the stones can just come out the other side. And they've seen in this game how often a Japanese stone has come round a guard, tapped them out, even though it cannot even be seen from the hack at the other end. So this is the attempt at a tick shot, and it's not going to work. In fact, this one will be probably coming back to where it was before. You can't remove the stone from play.
So we're having an update. Binju Wang with her last stone in the 8th end. Another chance for making 2. Just following her attempt here. Needs to be swept. Tap this one back in, and a really good shot by Binju Wang. very difficult, but enough. So it's a comfortable lead now, 9-4 after 8 ends played. So it looks like that both Team China and Team Japan, both the only undefeated teams in this round robin, that they keep solid, that they keep on winning.
So this time they move the stones around, push the Czech stone just into the front of the house, I think, but I'm sure it will be being removed shortly. So Tomabeshi just touching that up. So the score here, the standings here, 4-0 for Japan and China, looking like going to 5-0 in both cases.
That means that both teams are really qualified.
Yes.
And also, like, both teams will have for sure the first 2 spots. That means they have 2 chances for getting to the Olympic Games. Like the winner on Sunday morning, the 1-2 game would qualify directly. And the loser of this game will have to play off again to the 3rd place team after the round robin. So we'll have the second chance to qualify for the Sochi Olympic Winter Games.
So 3 Czech stones in the front. And Ogasawara now going about removing them.
I would just try to keep it simple, just get rid of the one guard really far away from the house for the first time. Just not too complicated right now. Don't risk any misses now.
Now big weight. Just the intention to catch half of this stone, run it out and roll the shooter out of play as well. And her shot played perfectly. All 4 members of the Japanese team are involved in every shot. Their concentration is at a very good level, and they're watching every shot. Very solid performance today. So the guard back again. Trouble for the Czech Republic is they're running out of stones here. They need to make a 3. I'm not sure if that stone on the top of the house on the left, as we're looking at it now, is in or out. We'll maybe get, I'll look at that in a minute or two. Well, it is out, I think.
Yeah. Well, right now, okay, we'll have a really close-up look. It's gonna be close. Really cannot tell, but now there's a chance, a better chance, I think, like the attempt to get rid of both red stones centered here. But as it's a little bit too far on the right-hand side, so it's just take out for 1, which is okay, still is okay. They just need to keep on going like that. And then the Czech team, they need to place the stones into the house and then
4 stones remaining for the Czech Republic, and they have to make 3 of them count. So this is a vital shot for Pliskova. The indication to come around that guard and lie on the top of the 4-foot circle. Well, it's quite a nice shot. Yeah, well played. Well played. So, Ogasawara, I'm sure will, yes, take that one away from there, and I don't think she'll mind.
Just go from the...
Just to remove the guard and run the shooter, I think. I don't think she's going for the raise, because of course it would leave her stone out there as a potential shot to come around. She'll be quite happy just to clear the guard off.
Yeah, but just when she can see that's comfortable on this side, she can try at least. But she needs to make sure that the shooter is rolling at least, say, half a meter to the left side.
Well,
but this is far off. But it's there. At least open up the center.
That was what she wanted.
Yeah.
So, Pliskova, her second stone here in the last end of regulation play. 7-4, Japan are leading. And as you can see, after this stone, only 2 remaining for the Czechs to play. And they need to pick up 3 here to send the game into extra time.
Well, have a look. It's also another guard pretty much before the house. Not really close. But I think just keep it simple like that. Maybe try to attack the shot rock. You can go for it, but make sure that you at least hit the guard, not pass it completely.
Well.
So they try to... No, no, no. Stop it. Oh, yes. Ooh, close and lucky. Okay.
Well, I think that she was going for that all the way, don't you think?
Yeah, of course. This was the B plan. No, but...
There was always that chance, just the way the angles were, that something like that could happen.
So meanwhile, we see Team China celebrating their 5th win. Really good, so they're really undefeated, the only team so far, but it pretty much looks like that Japan will follow. If I could understand this right, she's going for the split, just to split her own somehow, which I think is pretty risky.
Well,
any other chances?
She's in a bit of trouble, I suppose. The split. That's going to curl a bit too far.
Yeah.
Well, hit one of these out and the game is yours. The Japanese only need to remove a red stone and they will be the winners.
So, as you said, just one red stone has to be removed, then it's not possible for Czech Republic to tie the game. And this looks pretty much in control. Just A little bit of sweeping, a little bit of up and cleaning and fine control, take out, wake out.
And that's it. Japan will win this game 7-4 over the Czech Republic. 5th round of play, 1 more game remaining, and Japan and China have qualified for the 1st and 2nd spots in the playoff series to follow this round robin. One of them will definitely be going to the Winter Olympic Games in Sochi in February. The other one will play off for a 2nd spot against we don't know who at the moment, because Germany are trailing Norway and they are at least 2 games behind in the round robin series. So Japan very happy, obviously, after that victory. That assures their place in the top 2 spots.
So we're waiting of some highlights to come to show you the crucial ends of this match. The 5th straight win of Team Japan. Just another overview of the scoreboard. You could see, like, in the 4th and the big 4 for Japan, and another deuce in the 6th end. That was the key of the game, and no chance for Czech Republic to somehow get close to Japan in this game. So another time we see the 2nd but last stone of Ayumi Ogasawara. Just a really nice takeout, very well slapped, just past the red one in front, and then really good lying 3, and the stone of Anna Kubeshkova just went on the guard. That gives an opportunity for the Japanese skip to draw for the 4th stone here into the ring. Comfortable lead now. Then in the 6th end, another attempt. Good chance for deuce. Well played by Team Japan in this. Also, Czech Republic was lying quite good in this end, but really good answers all the time way through, and now taking advantage of this chance opportunity for making the deuce. Comfortable lead. And then in the 10th end, Team Czech Republic was running out of stones, couldn't tie the game. They needed to steal 3. This was rather impossible. So the final score of this game, 7-4, 5th win for Team Japan. They're definitely through. And here are the results. So 9-5 win for Team China. Latvia has the bye, and Team Germany needs to tie the game for keeping their hopes alive for the playoffs. So this is the standing. China and Japan, both of them will stay undefeated and have 2 chances to qualify for the Olympic Games. And then it's the question, who will follow? Who has another chance for playing off for the Olympic tickets? So the interview with the winning skip, Ayumi Ogasawara, will come within shortly. So we still see the young Team Czech. And there might be a theoretical chance for either Team Czech Republic, Team Germany and Team Norway to maybe play off, even with a score of 3 wins and 3 losses. There might be a tiebreaker for the last spot. This will be decided tomorrow in the morning draw, the last draw in this round robin. So now it's official. Team Germany lost to Norway. They couldn't tie the game anymore, so Norway with the third win. Germany stays with 2-3, as Czech Republic do as well. So Norway finished their round robin. Czech Republic and Germany needs to win the last game. Czech Republic needs to play Latvia, whereas Germany plays Italy. So good chances for both teams to get to the same score, 3 wins, 3 losses. So then we will have a tiebreaker between Norway, Germany, and Czech Republic.
Tell me how much you enjoyed the 4 shots in the fourth end.
とても難しいショットだったんですけど、私一人だけではなく本当にナイスラインコールとナイススイーピングのおかげだと思います。4人で決めた1投だったと思います。
It was a good shot. However, that was not my result. Everyone was good line call and good sweeping. So all of us made the shot.
How satisfied were you with the way that your team played today?
はい、本当に今朝のドイツ戦からこのチェコ戦といい状態で戦えているので本当に気持ちがいいです。
So in this morning we had a game against Germany and we had a game against Czech Republic, and both games were very good, and we are in very good mood. So I'm feeling very well.
Thank you very much and well done.
Thank you. ありがとう。ありがとう。
So, well, that's for now. The 6th draw is completed of the ladies round robin. Richard Harding and Uli Kapp, thank you for watching us, and we'll be back when it's coming to the end of this round robin tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock.